Hey, this is Charles Dent. This is day number 26 on our 60-day challenge. Listen, I am really excited about this, and I'll just be honest with you, this has really ratified, just really transformed my life. Today, I want to look at this. I want to go and add a part 2 to day 25, and that's if you're going to live in it, you got to know how to build it. You got to build it. It requires that you build it. And I want you to look at the things that the excuses have built in your life. I mean, think about all the excuses have built certain things in your life, and then you rely on those excuses. You go back to those excuses just to find an easy way out. And that's what excuses do. There's a bailout plan. It's saying it's too hard, so I can bail out. It's just I don't have the money, so I found a way to bail out. So God has given us gifts and talents that He wants us to use in this earth for His glory. But I want you to see this now. If you're gonna live in it, you got to build it. Let me just tell you right now, you got to build it. You got an idea, you got imagination going in your mind. Everything you see, it was somebody's idea, it was in their imagination, and they knew they had to get through obstacles to build it. We talked about every building has a foundation. Everywhere you stand, there's a foundation. So you got to have a solid foundation. We talked about this, and I want to share this with you. Now, I think this is very critical for you to understand this. You have to build a standard in your life to get rid of the excuses. You have to raise the standard in how you deal with excuses. Because if you don't raise the standard, you're going to continue to allow the excuses to make the standards for you. And I think it's critical for us to look at the standards. Now I'm gonna get a little deep into this because I think it's very important that you got to have a standard for your mind. What you're going to feed your mind. When the Bible says take heed to what you hear, take heed to how you hear it, you got to be careful what you put into your mind. How you use your mind is very critical. For the Bible says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So you got to monitor the things that you allow your mind to attract. Okay? Because you can be attracting excuses unaware. You're not aware of all the excuses that you're attracting in your life because you're not renewing your mind on a daily basis. You got to have the standard for your money. You got to know how to manage money. You got to know how to manage your emotions as well. Because remember that time we talked about anger, we talked about other emotions, depression, we talked about sadness, being alone. But those are things you manage yourself. You are the one who projects certain things on your own life. But you got to see the standard you have set to feel a certain way. Because if I feel a certain way, it may be my reason of creating an excuse to get out of something. I got a headache, I'm sick, I don't feel well, I'm tired. But I'm behind the scene, I'm using that as a standard to get away with something. Okay? So you got to deal with that. Your time is very critical. Because, listen, you can get another house, you can get another car, but the thing about it, you can't get more time. God is not giving you more time. So you have to maximize the time that you do have. But you got to ask yourself the question, what is the standard in which you have set for managing your time? People call it time management. We call it project management. You got to know how to manage your priorities in life. You got to manage that which is important to you. That's what you got to do. You got to know how to manage what's important to you in your life. Then we talked about in your spirit, in your relationship with God. Now think about this. Where is your relationship with God? Is it on the back burner? Are you provoking God to jealousy because He's not number one in your life? You have put something else in His place instead of Him? And now you're provoking God to jealousy because He's not number one in your life? And that's what happened. You could put something else in the place of God and provoke God to jealousy. And when God is a jealous God, you got to understand, you have replaced Him with something else. Maybe it's your job, maybe it's your family, maybe it's your hobbies, and you have used that to replace God, and now you're provoking God to jealousy. But you don't see that. You have put something else in the place of God. And so in relationships, and I'm going to tell you this, now I'm really going to hop on this a little bit more. In the relationship, to build a solid foundation, ladies, there a long time ago when I was growing up, ladies used to have a high standard. I'm telling you, ladies' standards were up here. And I always said behind every good man, there's a better woman. And I thought because women raised their standards, men would come up to that standard. You ladies will make us better because you kept your standard here, and we wanted to get with you, we had to come up to your standard. I mean, there's a lot of changes we made to come to that standard. And think about that. Your standard used to be up here. Now, women have lowered their standard, and I'm asking the question to women, since your standard down here, we don't have nowhere to grow. We don't have anywhere to go. You already lowered your standard. So lady, if you raise your standard in the relationship, you don't say, hey, if I don't have a ring on a finger, we ain't shacking up. We ain't having sex. If you raise that standard, one of the two things going to happen to the man. He's going to leave you so the right one can come into your life, or you're going to lower your standard just to keep him. I'm telling you. And that's what society has done. Women have lowered their standard just trying to keep a guy in their life. But if you raise your standard, he may weed out or he may raise the standard just to be with you. But if he leaves you, that's perfect because the one that God has for you now can come into your life. Now let me share this, ladies, because God set a standard for men and women. God gave Adam 6 things before he ever brought Eve into his life. And man, I'm going to talk about that one day. And I'm going to share you, ladies, the 6 things that God gave a man before he brought him a companion. And you have to see if the man is not doing that, how can you come alongside of him? Because he doesn't know where he's going in life. And so if he doesn't know where he's going, where he's going to take you. But that's another story. All right? So here's the thing about it. If you're going to live it, you got to build it. You got to look at your relationship. You got to look at your body. How you treat your body as well. What's the standard for your body? What is the standard you're going to raise for your body? And that's important that you look at all these 7 areas in your life and ask yourself, what is the standard in which you have set? What is the standard you have set? Because you raise your standard, the excuses will leave you too. Because you raise your standard. And that's very important. So I want to go back to this. So the foundation is critical. The standard is critical. So the road to success, you got to have purpose. You know that God put you in this earth. He gave you a purpose. Got to have a vision. You know where you're going. You got to have core values, because the core values is what you believe in value. It shapes your decisions you're going to make in life. And then you got to have plans. And your plans has to deal with your priorities in life. But here's the critical piece on day 26. You got to have wise counsel. I'm going to tell you something that I think is very critical in order for you to succeed in life. You got to have wise counsel. God teaches us that we need each other. We got to have wise counsel. Now, let me tell you something. Now, I think this is critical to my life, and I'm sharing this with you, and I'm being transparent with you. I think a lot of decisions I would have not made in life if I had wise counsel. Whether it's dealing with my mind, money, emotion, time, spirit, relationship, or body, if I had wise counsel, there's some things I know I would have never done. But I didn't seek out wise counsel. So I think in order for your plan to succeed, in order for you to chase the excuses away, you need to build a team of counselors around you. Is it your husband, your wife? Y'all need to be counselors to each other so you can point out excuses that you make in life. Maybe you need to have your pastor. Maybe you need to have somebody else that's not even a member of your church to be part of your circle. Not somebody part of your workforce. Somebody who's going to be honest with you. Not somebody who's just going to tell you what you want to hear. And I think this is one reason why we don't get wise counsel, because we don't want people to tell us what we don't want to hear. Or we don't want people controlling the decisions that we make in our life. And boy, how many decisions we have made that are devastating. Here's the thing about it. The Bible said where there's no counsel, the people fail. Listen what it said. Where there's no counsel, the people fail. In other words, we become easy prey to our excuses. We become easy prey to the enemy because we never got wise counsel. Now, some people get counsel, but is it wise counsel? Because the things I see on Facebook, I think people trying to counsel each other, and that's relationship, dealing with how you should shack up with a person, not shack up with a person, do this, but that's going back to their beliefs and their values. That come back to their standard in which they have set for their lives. But is that wise counsel? You tell me. Is it wise counsel? So the Bible said, where there's no counsel, the people fail. And then he said, but in a multitude of counselors, there's safety. Man, I'm telling you, if we can get our kids to get to the place that they need wise counsel, we can help them avoid a lot of heartaches and a lot of pains in their lives if they decide, I need wise counsel. Whether they like what you say or not, they turn around and say, I need to hear it. Because I don't want to make some mistakes in life that I made before. And here's the other part about Proverbs 15:22. It said, where there's no counsel, our plans will fail. Another verse said, where there's no counsel, our purpose will be frustrated. So here's the key thing. If I don't get wise counsel, my plans are not going to succeed. And think about this. How many people you see are successful in life, and how many people you see that are not successful in life? How many people you look at people and you say they ought to be successful and they're not successful? And how many people you look at that shouldn't be successful, they are successful because they have put themselves around wise counselors. They have sought out advice from other people. I'm telling you something, I think this is one of the most devastating things I can share with you. Is not getting wise counsel has caused a lot of harm in my life. And harm in other people around me, because I didn't seek out wise counsel. Now I'm just telling you, all right? So when the Bible says where there's no counsel, plans fail. So that means if I get counsel, my plans can succeed. All right, so let me give you 7 things I think the advantages of having wise counsel in your life. Number 1, you can get advice. You can get a good advice so you won't have to make poor decisions. You can get good advice, especially surrounding relationships, especially surrounding money, especially surrounding your body and your time. Any of these 7 areas in your mind, get wise counsel so you won't make poor decisions. You won't make the mistakes other people have made. Here's the question. Why pay for something when somebody already paid for it for you? Why invite more pain in your life when somebody else paying can be your teacher? Why? Why is it that somebody else's failure can be where you learn? Wise counsel. I can tell you. And then here's the thing about getting advice and wise counsel. You can avoid a whole lot of consequences. I'm telling you, you can avoid a whole lot of consequences. And they'll help you, because why? Every choice, every mistake you make, there's consequences to it. The second thing is, you can learn what you don't know. And I think wise counselors can teach you some things you don't know. We don't know it all. Who knows it all? But wise counselors can ask you certain questions, like number 3, discover what you haven't thought about. You can think about, hey, you may not have thought about this. You may have not thought about that. You may have not put any thought to it. But a wise counselor can help you discover some things you haven't thought about. The 4th thing is, wise counsel is the basic foundation for relationships. It is the basic foundation for relationships. There's some relationships you shouldn't be in. Like I said earlier, ladies, sometimes you raise the standard, the guy's going to raise his standard, or he's going to leave you, so the person God purposely wanted to be in your life, he'll come into your life. But if you keep your standard down here, you're looking in the club, you're looking at all these places, and you're always picking up these same type guys, it's because your standard is here. But if you raise your standard, God can bring that person into your life. Advice, counselors, is the basic foundation for healthy relationships. Number 5, it'll save you a whole lot of time and money. I'm telling you, getting wise counseling can save you a whole lot of time and a whole lot of money. Take it from me. It can save you a whole lot of time, whole lot of stress, whole lot of undue pressure if you get wise counsel. And that's our biggest problem. We don't get wise counsel, so we end up being we're being in trouble, we get in debt, we get in all kinds of situations, and man, I'm telling you, the best thing to do is get wise counsel. It can show you a whole lot of time and money. A whole lot of it. All right? Number 6, wise counsel is a wise investment. It is a wise investment to spend some time researching who should I bring into my circle to help me so I don't make the same mistakes I have seen other people make. Who can help me do this? Man, I'm telling you, seek that out. You go to the Lord, ask God to point them out to you, and God will start bringing you wise counselors in your life. And then the 7th thing is this, and I think this is very critical by having wise counsel. You can avoid danger and pitfalls. I'm telling you, you can avoid a lot of danger. I mean, I would try to counsel this person one time, domestic violence situation, trying to share with her what she shouldn't do. Man, she kept going back and she was constantly getting into danger and pitfall because she didn't want the counsel that I gave her. To her, it didn't fit what she was looking for. And I told her, you keep going back, this is what's going to happen to you. And trust me, it did. Because why? I was trying to help her avoid the danger and the pitfalls of domestic violence. Because when a guy doesn't get the help he needs, guess what happens? He can't bring into the picture a healthy relationship. And lady, if you're going to stay in a relationship and the guy want to stay with you, get him some help. Please get him some help. Because 95% of the programs are designed to help women and not to help men. They lock men up. They give women help. So if you're in a relationship like that, and he needs help, you need to find wise counseling or leave it. If you're going to stay in it, get help. Both of you get help. If you're going to leave it, leave it. Because that's the advantage of getting wise counselors. I'm going to tell you, all the stuff we can do in life, raise the standard. Raise the standard and the excuses will leave you. Raise the standard and some people will leave you. You just got to do it. Seek wise counsel. Man, I'm telling you, this 60-day challenge is challenging me every day. Because some of you guys are not looking at it every day. I'm putting this together every day. I'm hearing from the Lord on this every day. And even tomorrow, we're going to talk about how to maximize your mouth. Day 27. Because we're going to talk about the power of your word. And then day 28, we're going to talk about seasons that you get into. You need to know the season that you're in. Because seasons are so critical. I'm telling you, man, God has a word for us in this. The 60-day challenge. Hey, this Charles Dick. God bless. Get wise counsel.